Hi, I'm Jane Richardson, Global Artistry Director for NARS, and I'm here today as we launch in Sephora India. Now, if that wasn't exciting enough, I am thrilled to be joined by the very lovely Kalki. Hi.
Hi Jane, lovely to meet you. I'm so excited.
This is going to be so much fun. So the most important step, the first step in the makeup is actually the preparation of the skin. So I work really hard when I'm working with my clients to make sure that the skin is as smooth as possible and as hydrated as possible. We've already prepared Kalki's skin, putting the hydration in, and now I'm going to prime. So this goes over your moisturizer and underneath your foundation. So I'm using the Radiance primer. Now this actually has an SPF 35.
Okay,
so if you
great.
are shooting outside,
Yeah.
it's got encapsulated beads that burst as you massage them, but you'll see it's also got this beautiful reflective quality.
Yeah.
So what's happening is we're building up the layer of light, the layers of light.
Okay.
So it increases the longevity of the makeup, brings radiance, and gives you that protection. Not just
Yeah.
SPF, but antioxidants as well.
Which is great when you have long shoots.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've got this heat.
Oh yeah. We got the sun here. We got a lot of sun.
I have the rain.
Yes, London. I remember my short time there.
Fun.
Wow.
So I'm actually applying this all over your face.
Yeah.
That's because if you're using something with SPF, I believe you need to
Cover
apply
everything,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And don't obviously forget the neck, because our face doesn't end at the jawline,
Yes. Yes, I agree.
right?
Like we forget to moisturize
kind
the
of
rest
stick
of
to
your
there.
body. Like I feel like that thing of moisture all
Yeah.
over your hands, everything. Like,
Yeah, just forget.
yeah, we do.
Stop right there. Okay, so that should feel super
Yeah.
lightweight. You know, sometimes you apply SPFs and when you try, and they
It's
just
too
feel
heavy.
really heavy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
sticky. That's really, really beautiful and lightweight. Okay, so the next application, this is the light reflecting foundation. It's the latest one. It's the most innovative. It's a skin makeup hybrid.
Okay.
And what you're going to love about this is it's 70% skincare.
Lovely.
It's going to constantly draw moisture throughout the day, all those long hours on set. It's going to protect your skin. You do need to give it a shake.
Yeah.
That's just to activate it. And with NARS, a little bit goes a long way. Now the man behind this brand is Francois NARS, and he's always used his fingers to apply the foundation.
Yeah. So I do the same. I don't like having too many brushes and the sponges because I can't feel what I'm doing.
Right?
Yeah.
So the important part of using your fingers is that they're warm, like your face. So it just means that the makeup that's going on really does feel as natural as possible. You get really good blend as well. If you are using beauty blenders, that's absolutely fine. You can work with them with the NARS products. But to get the very, very best out of them, use your fingers. So the first thing to do is apply it just between the brows and blend up and out in circular motions. And what you're doing is you're making sure that the color is between the brows where we're normally needing a little bit of coverage. It also means that you have less foundation around the hairline, which means that it's really much more natural. And I know you like that, don't you,
I
Kalki?
do. I'm very
Right.
about not seeing the makeup.
Absolutely. So the best thing to do, and what I do, is I just split the face into various parts because I think it allows for a much better blend. So we've done the forehead, now we're doing the nose.
Yeah.
So we've used a softening motion underneath to really deal with the texture, because I know sometimes there's quite a textural change on our noses.
Yeah, the nose
Right.
is a tough one. It's where it gets like
It just gets a little bit dry.
Dry
and just
because
a little bit more open
more
pores.
exposed, yeah.
Yeah. So once we've done the forehead and the nose, we're going to go underneath the eyes. And the reason why I do this is because this part may do exactly what we wanted to do and take away enough discoloration. You know, the darkness and fatigue we get underneath the eyes.
Yeah.
And
I
reduce
know.
the amount of concealer. Again, making it feel less like a mask.
Yeah. I think I know about covering under eyes because I have a toddler.
That'll do things to you. So I'm just going to do the cheek area, massaging it down and out towards the sides of the face. It's so easy to blend.
Yeah.
And I always just pat because we have baby fine hairs on our face, and it just works it in. So again, same on the other side, the cheek area, tiny amount, really pulling it out, blending it towards the ears and down towards the jawline. And then once you've done that, and the circular motions will help blend, you then just use your fingers just to pat into the skin. Tiny bit on the chin. Again, usually we're just red on the upper part of the chin, blending it out and down towards the jawline. And we tend to get a little bit of discoloration or redness sometimes around the outer part of the lips. I generally try to avoid the upper part of the lip. I don't know why, it just kind of always looks a little bit too much. So I'm just using my finger with whatever's left on and patting. There we go. Now I'm going to give you the mirror so you can have a look.
Nice.
How's that feel? If you move from side, can you still see there's so much light?
Yeah, I see that. No, it's very nice and very natural.
And hopefully you'll get to learn. You'd think I would learn by now. A little bit goes a long way. Look, I always end up with
Too much.
Don't do that. Don't leave that on your, Okay. The next product I'm going to use, introduce you, is the Radiant Creamy Concealer. Now this is a cult classic, and there's a very good reason. I certainly can't live without this, and I certainly can't live without it in my kit.
Yeah.
It's another 16-hour wear.
Fantastic.
It firms, it
Yeah.
reduces redness, it constantly draws hydration. It constantly draws hydration for 24 hours, which will be perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Super lightweight, but it can be built up to give you more coverage. So it's a very, very versatile product. I also tend to use it, a lighter one, and then a deeper one you can use for dimension. So I really like the versatility of the product.
And why do you use two? Is it like two different shades that you mix, or?
I usually use 2 to 3.
Oh, yeah.
So normally it's one that matches the skin, one which is kind of, if I have, in the absence of a color corrector, which has a bit more pink tone, so this is this one here.
Yeah.
And then one which is a little bit lighter, just a kind of a pop as a highlight. But today I've just got one which I can use as a little bit of a color corrector, and one which matches your skin.
Nice.
So that's those two there.
Nice.
So have a look at this, because you can see how that just disappears. And obviously I haven't put any hand cream on today, probably should have, but you can still see that it's just a really nice finish.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use a brush, okay?
Yeah.
So you pick up your product. Now it's really important to remember that our faces change shades depending on the season. So as you build up, always start with the foundation or concealers that match your skin tone, but be prepared to add a little bit of warmth either with things like bronzing powders, or indeed add a little bit of warmth by using a shade deeper, so that you can actually self-prescribe. I think that makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. I was shooting in Portugal in August,
Right.
and my skin went a whole different shade after that.
So yeah, it's important to sort of get the basics and then build up.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. What I'm going to do is put a little bit more of the pink tone, where you're a little bit, I mean, to be fair, I know you said you got a toddler.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a Swiss alarm clock every morning.
Yeah.
6:30
Yeah.
a.m.
The under eye is not bad.
Good.
Not bad.
It's one of the good
Right?
days.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? There are good days and bad days.
Exactly.
So it's good days where you really don't need as much, but when you do need a little bit more, this is going to build up.
Yeah.
So that's just the one with a little bit more pink in. And the reason why I use a brush is because it kind of get like an airbrush finish. And again, what I'm working to do is create something that's light as possible on the skin.
Right.
So this is the slightly lighter one. and pulling back on the brush. So by pulling back, you're going to really be able to use the brush hairs to get that diffused natural finish. But it's kind of shaped like a finger,
Right.
so that you can add it in. So we'll do the same on the other side. Just deliver some product, and then pull back on the brush and just start to diffuse it across the skin. And again, this is just another layer of light, because these utilize and manipulate light in such a unique way. You get the luminous skin from it. Now, I know in this country there's a lot of ladies who are wondering if they can skip the foundation and go straight to concealer. It's a question we get, or I get asked a lot. Kalki, do you ever skip the foundation and go to concealer?
Yeah, sometimes I just do the under eyes and the nose, because my nose is always a bit red.
Right.
So I just do, that's it.
And what is the type of day that you do that?
When I don't really want any makeup.
When you don't really want
When
any
I don't want
makeup.
to feel anything on my face, you know.
Exactly.
I don't mind, I don't mind nothing on the face. Just cover that. Yeah.
And I think it's really important to be comfortable in your skin and know that there are days where you don't have to wear very much, and it is just perhaps a little bit of concealer.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important for women to be okay in their
And
skin.
also in the heat, because you
Yeah.
know, you sweat so much here. It's very humid. So if you have too much makeup, it just kind of drips.
I would still use the primer, because that will help with that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And anyone who's got freckles, once you've done the makeup, if you have any freckles, get a really tiny cotton bud and just bring out all the freckles, because the makeup sits over the top of them and they can look quite ashy. And if you want something to look and feel quite natural, just take that makeup off.
Off the freckles.
And
Cute.
boom. Beautiful natural complexion. It's a little tiny bit here. And then if you just look at me and then turn that way and turn the other way, looks great.
Yay.
So my top tip when doing complexion for every single one of us is to step away from the mirror. Because we stare at it we stare so closely.
Right.
And I think what we're expecting is we're expecting filters to happen. I think a lot of times people are expecting we all have fine lines, especially around the eyes. Every single one of us, and there isn't a concealer on the planet that doesn't go into those lines.
Yeah.
So, but people, when we're talking, are
Yeah.
further away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So remember that, we need to be good to ourselves. I think,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah. I wish
So-
the camera was good to us as well. When they come like really extreme
Really
close up.
Yeah. Okay, so we've prepped the skin, we've done the foundation, we've done the concealer, so now it's time to just set it with some powder. So we have prepared the skin, we've applied the foundation, used a little bit of concealer, and now you need to set it, okay? So I'm using the translucent Cristal. This is a microfine. Again, it's all about drawing hydration to the skin throughout the day.
Okay.
But it has this beautiful, you can see even just on the finger, it just disappears into the skin, and it's great for the handbag.
Yeah.
So just remember to use blotting paper before you powder. I think a lot of women just kind of put it straight over, and if you've got a little bit hot, by blotting first, you'll reduce the amount of cakiness that you can get sometimes with powders.
Yeah.
So I'm using a brush. And again, this is about using the least amount of product possible. So just look up for me. Concealer will always settle in the lines, so get rid of them with your finger. And just lightly dust the powder over. I'm going to use the powder around the nose here. Pick up the product, do the same on the other side using my finger just to ease out those lines. As I said, there's no concealer on the planet that doesn't go into the lines. And it's okay, because it means that you are probably smiling and actually interacting with people, right?
When you smile, you have
Yeah,
nice wrinkles.
absolutely. So just round the edge of the nose. we've already prepared the brows, but one of my top tips from François NARS was to put the powder through the brows. Especially when you consider that your moisturizer has gone onto the skin between the hairs. By putting the powder in, it means if you're using a pencil, it kind of gives you a bit more grip.
Nice.
And again, when you're having more sort of a thicker brow, a more androgynous brow, you can use it with the gels to really build up and get that secure pigment. So that's my top tip with the powder, just to brush it through. We've already prepared that, so what I am going to do is just close your eyes for me. I'm going to apply a little bit just across the eyes. And then let's just grab a Uchiyo brush and just give a little light dusting over the nose and on the chin. Okay, have a look. How's that feel?
Lovely.
Does that feel okay?
Yeah, looks nice.
Now, one of the things with NARS that I love is the layering. So even when I'm shooting with someone, if the skin's a little bit dry in the afternoon, I know that I could refresh the skin with a tinted moisturizer, the Pure Radiant tinted moisturizer can go over the top, and it suddenly brings life, and it won't damage what you've done.
Yeah.
So it's really important to understand that even when you've powdered, if you do look in the mirror and you think, oh, I need a little bit more here and there, you can come back to it once you've done the rest of the makeup.
Right.
And you can layer it and it'll be absolutely fine.
Nice.
Okay?
Yeah, because on long days you feel like your
you just
skin
feel like you need a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, let's brush these through. So this is Laguna. It's the iconic bronzing powder from NARS. It wins awards every single year because it just gives the most beautiful warmth to the skin without going orange. So the best thing to do is pick up the product. You'll see it on the actual hairs there.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't go straight to the skin.
Okay.
So pack it in. Because what's happening is we're going to push the powder into the brush, and that means we control it.
Right.
So many women, I feel like, go like this.
Otherwise, it's like a big patch, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And especially if you don't want to powder the whole face, just remember that if there are any areas that are moist, that's going to grab. It's great because layering powder over creams means that it locks.
Yeah.
And it's one way of many ways of increasing longevity.
Yeah.
But when it comes to bronzing powder, we don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is pack it in and then pull back on the brush.
Okay.
And that's a great tip. If you pull back on the brush and almost kiss the skin, you will actually be able to, as you're looking in the mirror when you're applying it, every minute, take a minute and step back, then you'll actually see what you're doing. I feel like a lot of times we're not present when we're doing the makeup and we kind of just...
Yeah, just like quick, yeah.
It's best to do what we do as makeup artists. We'll step back every now and then and take a look at what's happening. So we want it to go where the skin actually gets warm and bronzed naturally. And again, for me today with Kalki, it's not about bringing in this bronzed look. It's just about gently warming the skin, just to start the dimension happening, okay? So I'm just applying it, and you can feel how feather light I'm doing it.
Is, yeah.
Just bringing in a little bit of dimension just here, and the same on this side. And you can feel I'm just pulling that down. It's probably a little bit strange, but these things just make the magic happen. Just under the jawline there, don't forget the neck. That's the most important bit. And if we are going on these, if you're going on these special events, red carpet, parties, it's really important if you have your hair back to remember that you have behind the ears,
Right.
the ears,
Yeah.
all of that. So as a makeup artist, before Kalki went anywhere, we'd be there, making sure everything looks amazing. So everyone can do that at home,
every
right?
angle.
Right, every angle.
Yes.
Oh,
The
yes.
Perhaps getting your
Right.
ear.
Yes. Here we go. So let's have a look. Turn that way for me. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just looking at the natural shadows of your face, of your bone structure. Just turn that way. And that's where I'm using it. Ordinarily, if you are looking for dimension, you want a different shade, and don't use your bronzing powder as such, because it obviously has a warmth to it. And normally with contouring, we use something which is a little bit more ashy. But I like showing how you can use a bit of bronzer to bring in the dimension, make a star. So I'm going to put a little bit across the nose and the tops of the cheeks, and then we're ready for blusher.
Nice.
Okay. Now this,
Very pretty.
This is Orgasm. So
I love
beautiful
orgasms.
So it's a beautiful pink and peach gold shimmer.
No, it's really pretty, and not very like.
Not too. Again, all the blushes are micro fine, so you can have them, but they're pigmented.
Yeah.
So you can have them as bold or as neutral as you like. You have the control. You can really tell that there's a makeup artist behind this brand.
Yeah.
That's Mr. NARS, who has an incredible eye for beauty. So I'm going to give you the mirror. I'll give you this one. So you can actually see even one side to the other. If you move your face, you can see. You see it's still bringing in that
it's got a
luminosity.
little shine, yeah.
Is that okay?
Lip face.
Now the focus is going to be the lips. So the more modern way of wearing makeup, in a very NARS way, is to keep everything quite minimal. And actually, if you're someone who's looking to be like Kalki and play a character, that's those kind of elements when you miss something out, which kind of creates a different feel, a different vibe. Right?
Yeah. To focus on one thing, right? Not like everything.
I think we get into the habit of doing makeup from A to Z. So I do this first, then I do this, and I finish off with my mascara.
Yeah.
But actually, even mascara makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Huge.
One minute you go from just ordinary girl to like this dolly. Or it pulls you into a different era depending on where it's applied. So again, those kind of things are something that we all consider both when we're in front of the camera and when we're behind the camera.
Yeah.
Right?
I love mascara.
Oh God.
I do.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Here we go. Right, let's have a look. Just turn that way for me, and then turn the other way, and then turn back that way. Thank you very much. All right, so that's the blusher. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, it's got a good shine to it.
All right. So, focus is on the lips, but I want to give you a little bit of something around the eye area. You have the most beautiful color eyes. It's green, so I'm going to use a lipstick that's going to bring that color out. But also something like the high pigment long wear eyeliners. Again, something you'll love because they're 16-hour wear.
Yeah.
There's a trend here.
Also, that's kind of my average for shoot days, 15, 16 hours.
So you'll know that'll last and work as hard as you are. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just open your eyes for me and just look down. You okay with me doing a tight line?
Yes.
Okay. So what I did there was I just did a tight line. Now so many people are focused on doing the flick.
Yeah.
And depending on how the eyes are sitting in the orbital socket, how much lid is it coming down, that if you're looking straight at the mirror and you won't be able to see the line, then there's no point in doing a liner.
Yeah.
So I would always recommend doing the tight line, and you just lift up and just get right into the roots of the lash line. It increases the thickness of the lash, and it means that the whites get whiter. It just feels amazing without worrying about this whole line that no one's ever going to see.
Yeah.
So I love
and it's
doing
like
the
a
tight
light.
liner.
What color?
That was
is it?
it's like a coppery brown.
Nice.
So you get the intensity. We have a black called Via Veneto, so that's quite good to have as well in the kit. Always have a good black and a good brown. I feel like it's the basics.
Browns are also underrated, I feel. We get, like, especially in India, we use a lot of kajal and black.
Yes.
But we don't use the browns enough.
That's right. Yeah,
and even like brown mascara. I love brown mascara.
Yeah. Makes such a difference. It's softer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is the Climax mascara. And if you just close your eyes for me, I'm just going to roll it through from root to tip. It's a lovely black, exactly what we need. And just remember, you can use it in different ways to get different feelings, different vibes to your makeup. So I think that's really important, which is why a lot of times backstage when we're creating a look for the shows, we just skip it out. We just skip
the mascara.
Quite more often than not, we'll actually skip the mascara entirely. So I'm just using a clean spoolie just to cut through. Is that a bit? Such long lashes.
Nice.
Okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
very nice.
Comfortable?
Yeah.
Let me know if you're not.
No, it's very cute.
Okay. So I'm just going to do a little something on your eyelids, just to leave you a bit of love. It is so tiny. Okay. All right. Are you okay with that mirror for your lipstick? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Exciting.
Are you ready?
Always.
Okay. So Francois NARS started the brand with 12 lipsticks.
Okay.
All those years ago, and there's nothing like a NARS red, I don't think. And with these beautiful green eyes, we're going for an orange red, which is going to be amazing. This is the Power Matte. I'm glad you kind of almost got the whole 80s kind of shoulder going on here, right?
Yes, it's
This
Catwoman.
is all about the power. Okay, so I'm going to give it to you.
Okay.
All right, you'll find it's very easy to apply. Okay, off you go.
For it.
So it's one of those things you can build up. You
Yeah.
can apply in the center and then buff it out with a brush to get like a diffused look. You can kind of almost use the corners to kind of cut,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I always feel my lips like don't have a defined line. So I kind of just put it everywhere and then do this.
Yep.
Yeah. It's lovely color.
I think it's really important to work with what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Equally play with lipstick because it is one of those things that the shape of the lips can make us go into another era, feel a little bit different, whether we're adding glosses or
you
whatever
make it
you
like
want.
that perfect
right?
deep color with the that's like very 20s.
So it's exactly, you're going into the 20s and using things like the brush, it actually does help if you feel you've got two edges. So a lot of times we have this really pale edge, like me, you've got this pale edge. So you're looking and you put lipstick on, you're like, hang on a second, that's not really working.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do is just get the brush and then pull it out. So you get that diffused edge. And then it'll feel quite comfortable. What's great about this, again, you'll put it on and it will last. So it doesn't matter whether you're chatting, performing, eating, it will stay on. And once you have one, you can mix your own, mix up the colors, get to be your own artist and play with them. And if you make a mistake when you apply it, if anybody ever makes a mistake, then that's when you use concealer and just soften off the edge again. It's only makeup. Don't worry. And that's why I always encourage my clients to put the lipstick on themselves. because it's our job as artists to make sure we can teach people how to correct it, because we don't come home with our clients.
Yeah, you can't come
right?
home,
It's not
Jane.
part of the sale of the lipstick.
Oh,
I know, right?
too sad. Can't look like this every morning.
No.
It's lovely.
How's that feel?
Yeah, it's a nice
Does
color.
that feel good?
Yeah.
Feel comfortable on your
Yeah,
lips?
yeah.
I'm going to make it a little bit more, just a fraction more
Deeper?
intense. Yeah,
Yeah.
just on the inner, so we really get that diffusion.
Yeah.
So just in here. It kind of has this, a lot of times if we want this sort of really matte, we used to put powder over the top, but that's what I love about these. They look like you've done that, but you haven't. It's very soft. So this is going to look like, I don't know, a little like a rose petal, like a flower. So you get that intensity right on the inside of the lips. I kind of almost use the natural lines of the lips to pull it up, so it looks as natural as possible. The trick is at this point is to not do the whole because once you've set it,
Yeah.
it's done.
Right.
Okay. And especially if you're using things like glosses and stuff as well, once you've got it on, don't that last little bit. So have a look. This is the final look. If you have a look in the mirror.
Hang on.
Dun, 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 drum roll.
Wow. I love it. I am ready. I'm
to go.
ready to
You
go
are
out.
ready.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Catwoman for the night.
So come shop. My favorites, Kalki's favorites from NARS Cosmetics, now available at Sephora India. How exciting is that? Thank you. Last thing, just to thank you so
Jane.
much
It's
for
been a
doing
pleasure.
this. It's been an absolute honor and privilege. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jane. And yes, guys, don't forget to come and see the new NARS products at the Sephora store in India. We're very excited that it's finally here.